Hello? Alright, can people hear me? Say so in chat, please. Awesome. Hey. So first of all, shout out to 2% for doing Season of Ice. I wanted to play that game or run that game a while back, but I just couldn't take it. I hated it. I just hated it. So there should be game audio. Let me see here. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, there's no audio coming out. Maybe I should have checked that first. I actually don't see it. I don't see it on my end either. Okay. That's interesting. Let me try something. Yeah. How about now? So see it going through my end. All right. Oops. All right. Awesome. Hey, there we go. Alright, so once again, shout outs to 2% for doing this because I wanted to run that game, but I just couldn't. I didn't like it. And I realized that Season of Flame was much better. Kappa. Anyways, time is gonna start as soon as I say yes. But real quick, there's a glitch that I'm gonna do right at the beginning called the intro skip. And intro skip is pretty simple. I just clicked yes here, and then as soon as I do that, I restart the game and do continue game on that same file, and it words. It starts a new game on that same file, but it does a few things. First thing is it skips the intro cutscene, which saves about 5 seconds, and it also sets our life counter to 0, which is going to be important for a game over abuse at the end of the first level. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this going. So 3, 2, 1. So we restart the game, and then continue file, and bam, intro skip completed. It also turns the tutorials on, so I have to manually turn that off. Otherwise, Sparks is just going to be talking to me throughout the game at random points, and that just wastes time. So the goal of any percent here is obviously to beat the game as fast as possible, and in order to do that, I need to collect 75 fireflies, and in order to unlock the final boss portal. So unlike Season of Flame, unlike Season of Ice, where you have to collect all 100 fairies, I don't have to collect all 100 fireflies in this game to unlock the final boss portal. I just need 75. And right here, I'm just skipping to the end of the level, because this unlocks the Flame Breath a lot earlier than normal. All I have to do is defeat that Rhinoc, and bam! Save the cow's milk, I guess, I don't know. But now Bianca restores our flame breath. And this allows me to get an extra firefly while going throughout the level by burning down all these haystacks. Whoops. Yeah. So in order to capture fireflies, I need the ice breath. So trying to freeze it there with fire is not a good idea. So at the end of this level, like I said, I'm going to be doing a game over reviews, but I need to collect an extra life first, because you only get a game over when your life count drops to 0, not when it's already at 0. So right now, I'm kind of like at an underflow type deal. So I need to collect that life right there, and then I can kill myself and game over. Oh no, I'm bad. But it really just skips a portal transition, like this one right here. It skips one of those, and it teleports us back to the beginning of the homeworld right here. Now this level, for anyone who's ever played this game, this level has a mini game called Freeze Tag that is really annoying. First, I have to get to it. But yeah, Freeze Tag is really annoying for casual players, but thankfully we have a strat for both rounds to do it quickly. Oh no, 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 no. And I almost messed that up. Mess that up. That's okay. Alright, let's see. Nah, I'm not gonna even try to do it casually. Come on. Alright, I'll give up one more try, and if I don't get it, I'm just gonna skip this Firefly and do a different one. Oh my god. Alright. Now we'll do it one more try. One more time. I know I can get it. Alright, there we go. I don't know why I had so much trouble. That's actually the easier one of the two, for me anyways. Yeah, so following along the trends of like GBA has really good music. I like it. Maybe not this level's music so much, but I do like this game's music overall. Now, so from Season of Ice to Season of Flame, since we just saw Ice, Season of Flame has a lot of improvements as far as gameplay goes. So for one, dying isn't nearly as detrimental. It does reset some things, but it doesn't reset like everything, like it does in Ice. And then there are less thieves in this game, but the thieves are also a bit better. You still can't flame them, but you still have to charge them, but there's, for both thieves, there's strategies to get them really quickly. And then the movement is just much, in my opinion, much easier to control. And getting hit by enemies doesn't make you go flying 10,000 miles backwards. And yeah, there's a lot of improvements, though Season of Ice still does have its good things. So this level has our second glitch of the game that we're gonna be doing. There's an area that's blocked off by a boulder that normally we would need to beat the first boss in order to access. Because beating the first boss gives us the ability to break boulders by charging into them, but we don't have time for that. So instead, we're gonna clip past the boulder by doing a damage boost. We'll show that off in just a minute, or in just a second here. So, coming up right here, I'm gonna get the aggro of this mummy. It's gonna hit me, and then during my invincibility frames, push me into the loading zone for this area. And then we can do quick thief here. Bam. Also, a small little time saver that I do at the end of each level is when I collect the last firefly of that level, what I'm gonna do is actually jump above it. And then as I'm landing on top of it, I'm gonna be pressing the pause menu, or pressing start to enter the pause menu, and then exit level. That just skips a text box that the game gives you whenever you collect a firefly. Saves about like maybe half a second, or maybe half a second to a second every time you do it. Saves a little bit more time to on levels where you collect every firefly, because then you get an extra text box from Sparks telling you, hey, you collected all the fireflies, congratulations. And we don't like Sparks. So, or at least we don't like Sparks talking to us, rather. So this level, there's really not much to talk about. It's also like one of the laggiest levels in the game, just because there's so much in it. So your inputs can get eaten up, which is very unfortunate. But this is also the last level of the whole world that we're going to be doing. After this, we're going straight to the boss. And the first boss in this game is actually the hardest boss in the game, by far. Both casually and for speedrun. Even with the speedrun strat, it's difficult. So, the strat is pretty easy. Also, forgot, shout out to Aku, or the Buddha, whatever, cameo there from Crash. Yeah, so, anyways, boss coming up, his name is Crush. If you guys remember from the original Spyro 2, Ripto and his minions are back. So Crush, like I was saying, he's the hardest boss in the game. You have to hit him 3 times by collecting these ice balls that he shoots at you, and then you have to shoot him back to freeze him, and then charge him to hit him once. And you have to... Come on. Talk to me, Bianca. And you have to hit him 3 times in order to defeat him. And every time you hit him, he starts moving faster and faster, which makes it really difficult to hit him the next time. However, we have a strat here that allows us to get all 3 hits off really quick. So we're gonna charge over here, because this is where the exit portal is gonna be. Oh, I almost missed that, but we got it. And then we just go right where the exit portal spawns, so we can skip the text from the ferry. And then right here, notice, it's actually kind of important to notice that I don't pick up any gems on my way to this portal. Makes those portal transitions actually go really quickly if you don't pick up any gems in between the portals. Unfortunately, there's only a few times where we can actually do that without going way out of our way to collect gems. Oh, I need to flame you. Getting a little ahead of myself. Now there's a minigame skip in this level. Hopefully I get it. I've had trouble with this in past Spyrothons, but hopefully I can get this. No? No. Alright, I have 2 tries. 2 more tries. Alright, got it. There we go. So, normally for this minigame you have to glide across a bunch of platforms to complete it, and then we have to glide across them all to get back to actually collect the Firefly. That whole process takes close to 40-45 seconds. But instead, we can do a really tight glide there to reach the end, to trigger the end and complete it, while at the same time we die so that we get teleported back to the beginning of the minigame. So that saves quite a bit of time. Saves about, I want to say, maybe 30 seconds. And it's also important to skip getting zapped by Zoe in this level if you want to do the minigame skip. Because otherwise, when you die, you teleport back to her instead of back to the beginning of the minigame. Yeah, this is that's haunted. Now, on my way to the next level, I'm going to be taking a very specific path, which is one of the few times where I can actually avoid collecting any gems. All I have to do is hug that tree right there to avoid picking up a red gem, and then the rest of it's pretty easy, as long as I can collect fireflies. And like I said before, skipping if we don't collect any gems, these portal transitions go by really quickly, because we don't have to spend time counting gems. I keep switching to fire breath on this level because I don't need it. Come on. barely avoided getting hit by that guy. And that's Candy Lane. Really quick. So in this, for any percent in this game, we don't actually need to collect any gems. The only purpose for gems in this game is to pay money bags to unlock the Sheila the Kangaroo levels. But we don't want to go in any of those levels because they're really slow. So yeah, we don't need any gems. And collecting gems does take time, but there's really no way around it unless we go sparksless to avoid picking up gems. But unfortunately, that wouldn't work either because every time we collect a firefly, we actually get sparks back if we don't have them. So there's really no way to avoid picking up gems and for the majority of the run, only in certain areas. Also, I'm gonna pick up that life. I missed it. I'm gonna... Did I even get it? I don't think I did. Oh, okay, I did. Just pick up that life for safety. Alright, and then here's thief number 2. Also, bam. Rip headphone users. Yeah, you can, whenever you kill or wherever you kill the thief, you can just stand there and it'll make that noise forever. And I did not want to die there. So we get to show this off. How did I miss it? Wow. Okay. So now we've got to be careful, because we're on our last life. So normally I would death abuse in this game, or in this level, after I collected the last firefly and everything. Okay, that's not good. So I've missed one firefly, but that's fine. Alright, so this is kind of an improv route here. I'm gonna not go back and get that firefly. Instead, I'm gonna get an extra one in this level. Yeah, I can do this. We're gonna do hockey in this level. So, if you guys thought hockey in Spyro 2 Rito's Rage was bad, well, this one is actually better. Come on. Hockey in this game is definitely better. So hockey, we just need to score 5 goals for the first round. And pretty easy. Just have to lure him to one side, and then quickly go to the other side. for those candles that are out there, we actually do need this power-up breath, the power-up flame breath, because that's the only breath that can actually hit them. Even the normal flame breath, if you get close to it, it still won't hit them for whatever reason. Come on, there we go. No, I don't talk to you yet. We need the last candle there. Alright. So there's still 2 more fireflies that I need to pick up in the homeworld that I normally would have picked up in between the last level, or the water level, and that level. So we're just gonna make a quick detour to pick them up here. Thankfully, you can't die in this, or in the homeworlds in this game. Same as Season of Ice. Alright, and now we can head over to Gold. Pick that up for safety. So Gulp would normally be an auto-scroller type boss with no way to speed up the fight. But because he fires missiles and you have to wait for them to land on the ground, and they only do that after a set amount of time. But if we can manipulate them to run into the Gulp early, or to run into Gulp while they're still chasing us, like that, that makes them fall on the ground early, so we can get our hits off faster. Come on. There it is. Alright, and that's cool. Alright, so we just have 1 homeworld left. There's only 3 in this game. And the first level we're going to head into after we collect a few fireflies here is going to be Moon Fondue. And that level, all we're going to do is collect straight fireflies. We're not going to do any mini games or side quests or anything like that. So it's fairly quick. And it's kind of unfortunate too, because it is a cool level. It's kind of unique in the fact that it's the only level that utilizes the lightning breath in this game. Because otherwise because this level and then the fight with Ripto. So this level and then the fight with Ripto would normally be our only 2 showcases of the lightning breath, but we don't see any of them. But we don't use the lightning breath in either of those, so sorry guys. Alright, and then this is the last case, or the last time where we're gonna avoid picking up any gems. So I have to hug this wall here and then jump up. The reason why I have to jump is because Sparks doesn't collect any gems while Spyro's in the air. And there's a green gem that would normally be close enough for Sparks to pick up, so we do have to jump. So here comes another minigame skip. This one is very similar to the one in Haunted Hills, where it's pretty much an obstacle course, but we can reach the end right here. And thankfully, we don't have to die to come back to the beginning. It just teleports us, and we can do it for 2 quick fireflies. So I don't want gems. Whoops. That wasn't meant to happen. I don't want gems. We don't need gems in any percent because they only serve the purpose of unlocking levels that we don't want to go to. Yeah, and then collecting gems wastes time during the level transition. Like you can see right here. So collecting gems, it wastes a bunch of time right here. Collecting even 1 gem compared to 0 will waste about 1.5 seconds. Every gem after that wastes only like a fraction of a second, but it's still like not fast to collect gems. So like if I collected 0 gems, that would just go by much faster. Alright, so this is the last level before the final boss here. And then also whoever's doing the timing, the final boss, or not the final boss, the timing ends when we trigger the credits, which will be a little bit after we beat the final boss. Should be 74. That's 73. No, okay, yeah, that should be 73 actually. Because we still have 1 more here. Alright, so the final boss is Rito, and normally he would take a long time because you have to utilize all 3 power-up breaths, and you can only have 1 at a time. So you have to get 1 to burn down 1 part of his barrier, then go get the other one, second one, burn down another part, and go get a 3rd one, and yeah, and you have to, once you do all that, you can finally hit him, but then you have to do it 2 more times. Luckily, we can clip through the barrier that's protecting him to get off all 3 hits. And I did collect some, kill some fodder there to get higher Sparks health, because I'm going to be intentionally taking damage to make sure I don't pop out of the barrier. Alright, whoops. Messed that up. Alright, so yeah, all you have to do is charge, jump, and then... wow. Oh, I'm in. Okay. Dang. So I didn't do this the exact right way. But yeah, all you have to do is charge and then jump and then pause right when you're about, right when you're at the barrier. And you clip inside to this barrier, and then you can get all 3 hits off really quickly. Normally you could. Also, timing is gonna be run at the credits trigger. That's right. I know that wasn't much of a notice. Sorry. But yeah. So normally you could stay inside Rito's barrier and get off all 3 hits, but I just wasn't good enough to do that. And also the reason why timing we do timing ending on the credits is because there's kind of like 2 different endings. one, the bad ending, and then the good ending. The good ending is pretty much just collecting all gems, all fireflies, and then talking to the Dragon Elder to unlock the Sparks Panic minigame. But yeah, so that was Season of Flame. Any percent? Hope I didn't bore you too much with commentary. But yeah, so that was our. That concludes our GBA block. Up next, I think is gonna be Chargeless Any Percent of Spyro 1 by Wally and Deo. This is definitely gonna be an interesting run. I love Chargeless a lot, though I've never done it myself.